Cool. Okay, let's do this. So, hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Let's discuss. Yup, we are discussing something that I've been discussing on my channel for like a very long time, and I swear to God, I have new videos coming. Like, I'm gonna do a video on why The Maze Runner is my favorite YA trilogy, my favorite YA series. Yup, it's coming. Stay tuned. And I've had my Oscar film, or I guess, just I don't really know if they're like Oscar. I don't want to claim they're Oscar baity films, but those type of films. My reviews on them, I'm like halfway through editing it, and I've been halfway through editing it for a while now, and it's just been sitting on my computer, so I will get to it. But I had to do this very spontaneously. I'm not filming during the day, which I typically do. I'm filming at like 11 o'clock at night. Fast and Furious 5 is playing on my TV. This is Brazil? Is this the part? I had to hop on my phone and my laptop, and I had to discuss this, because this has been, WandaVision, the finale has been out for a day now. And now that we've all like sat on it for a day, we're not like, because normally whenever we're thinking about WandaVision, critically, it's like 3 o'clock in the morning, and we're all tired, and we may not be coming up to the best conclusions or to our full and true conclusions. So now that everyone's like had a day to think about it, we're all looking back, and we're noticing there may have been a few issues, and I just want to talk about those. And I too thought of these things, and so I was just like, and I didn't really bring them up in my review that I've already posted. So I was like, let me just do a whole nother video about looking back at WandaVision in hindsight and just thinking about some of its issues that we may or may not have discussed because we were too busy crying over Wanda and Vision and the twins. But now that we've had a day to process, we should probably talk about those things, or at least I should probably talk about those things. It's been a day, and this is not going to come out until like Sunday. So just in case, it's still the weekend it came out, so I'll still say it's spoiler warning for the finale of WandaVision. If you haven't seen it, or literally anything of WandaVision, do not watch this video. Come back when you have, and then come back when you've seen my other video reviewing WandaVision, because I talk more about my thoughts on WandaVision, but this is for everything else. This is for everything I didn't talk about because I was too in the moment, but now I'm here. So yeah, let's just get straight into it. This won't be very long because it's not a lot. So the first thing is Pietro, or Peter. We'll just call him Evan Peters in this. Pietro. We all thought when he came in that he meant multiverse. We were like, oh my God, X-Men's Quicksilver. Of course, this is how they're going to introduce the multiverse. Because one of the biggest things we all kind of thought WandaVision was going to go in the direction of was the multiverse. Because come on, guys, we all know they're doing the multiverse. Doctor Strange's title is literally the Multiverse of Madness, and then you have Spider-Man 3, which has villains from the Sony Spider-Man series appearing in the MCU. So we've got some multiverse things happening, and we thought WandaVision would be the stepping stone, or at least the starting point. And then we see Quicksilver come in, and so it's like, of course, multiverse. But then it just ended up being a giant joke. And they just said, psych, you guys thought it was the multiverse, but we're here to tell you that it's literally just a joke. Agnes's husband, Ralph? That's Pietro. That's Fietro. That's who Evan Peters has been this entire time. And I feel like that was just so... They didn't have to do all that, but like... Because a lot of people have been saying the fake outs were one of the biggest problems with WandaVision. And this is probably the biggest fake out. Everything else was just fan theories, and we were just speculating a little bit too much. But this was the main one that was like, why isn't he tying into the multiverse? Because obviously WandaVision should be tying into the multiverse. I mean, you guys had the Nexus commercial, and Agatha was telling Wanda she doesn't know what she unleashed. So it was like they were hinting at the multiverse, but they didn't want to dive right in and just outright say multiverse. But it's like, why not? Because obviously you guys are going to try and you guys are meant to set that up. Wanda is a Nexus being, so she has the power to manipulate and access the multiverse. So why aren't we at least getting a definitive answer that Wanda is the beginning of the multiverse in the MCU? We kind of got these little tells, but nothing that showed us. We thought the show was going to be Quicksilver, but it turned out that that was just a joke. So all we have are these little throwaway moments in which I guess we're supposed to take away the multiverse from that. And I think that's just a mistake, because it was the biggest thing WandaVision was supposed to set up, and they ended up just walking back on it. And so it was kind of like, why? Why not just say, this is the multiverse happening, Wanda is starting it, woo woo. I have watched some YouTube videos where I think this was, or did I see this on Twitter? I think I saw somebody say that it could be Wanda opens the multiverse in search of her kids because they're in the astral plane or something like that. Okay, but we're not really seeing it, and we won't know that for sure until Doctor Strange comes out in 2022. So it's kind of like, this was Marvel's chance to just definitively say that we are starting the multiverse and we're getting into that era of Marvel, and Wanda is the key moment that kicks it all off, but they kind of just walked it back and said, never mind. And that was kind of just the most, for me as well, and for a lot of people, the most disappointing part was that they didn't really definitively say, this is the start of the multiverse. And I just think that they should have, because it's not like we all didn't know. It's not like this was a fan theory we came up out of nowhere. Everyone knew the multiverse was happening, and we know WandaVision is a powerful being who can manipulate and alter the multiverse. So why not? Why wouldn't she be the one that kicks it all off? But the thing is, I think that she is. They just didn't want to show it, because obviously they wanted this story to be solely about Wanda and Vision, as they should, because they are the titular characters. But that doesn't mean your side plots surrounding the show can't be fully fleshed out as well. And that leads into my next thing that I've seen people saying that I also have thoughts on, and that is Monica. Okay, guys, listen, I know a lot of fans have been saying, this isn't Monica's show. Why are you yelling about her not getting her due when this isn't her show? She'll be in Captain Marvel 2. Yeah, I get it. Monica's not the star of this show. But the thing is, I can see a path for them to still set up her powers and her importance while not overshadowing Wanda. From the beginning, Monica has been very present in the story. She's been very involved because she wants to help Wanda, because she feels a connection to Wanda. She relates to her on the level of grief. She's like, I lost my mom, so I get where Wanda is coming from, and that's why I want to help her. So I think that in the finale, why didn't Monica fight Sword to protect Wanda? Because in the end, she just ends up protecting the kids. And then before that, she spends some time with fake Pietro, who ends up just being Ralph. And we do see a little piece of her powers in which she stops the bullets, but that's kind of it. And I feel like there was room to do more with Monica, to not overshadow her Wanda, but still do more with her and set up her role in Captain Marvel 2 and her importance going forward in the MCU. Her, Darcy, and Jimmy could have teamed up to defeat Hayward and Sword, and to protect Wanda, because that's another thing. Sword was kind of, I feel, built up to be this really big foe against Wanda, and they would have a bigger presence in the finale, but they kind of were just there, and then the twins took their stuff, Billy controlled their minds, Tommy took their guns, and then that was it. Hayward tried to shoot some kids, then he tried to run them over, and then Darcy just T-bones him. And that's Darcy's only appearance in the finale. And I just feel like you could have done something else with it. I do get it's 50 minutes, so we probably didn't have time for a big old showdown. But maybe a little something. Just maybe a little something. You know? Because, it would have made sense. It's not the most out of left field thing to have Jimmy, Darcy, and Monica team up to fight Sword. It honestly makes the most sense because, they were with Sword the entire time. They know what they're really up to, and they know how to take them down, and there are government agents fighting other government agents, and they have that whole Monica turning against them because she realized the organization she came back to isn't the same one she left, and she has these powers now, and she wants to help Wanda. And then Jimmy just knowing that Hayward's a dick, and Darcy also knowing that Hayward, and they just could have teamed up, and they could have just beat Sword, because Sword was kind of just dealt with within 2 seconds, and that it was just nothing. And I just feel like, yes, the show is about Wanda and Vision, so the most time should have been spent on their arc and completing that, and they did that perfectly. But then when it comes to all of the side plots surrounding WandaVision, they just weren't as strong, and they didn't end as strong as they could have, which is like a missed opportunity. It's a missed opportunity, and it doesn't bog down the series for me, because I'll just take this as what it is, which is a Wanda and Vision story, and their story of their relationship, and the story of Wanda's grief and how she's overcoming it, and her journey to become the Scarlet Witch. But there is the fact that they do have these side plots, and as an audience member, I would expect them to wrap up the side plots decently. But in the finale, it just felt like they rushed the side plots and didn't really think about how they could wrap it up nicely without overshadowing Wanda's story. They kind of just rushed to finish it, and then that was that. And it's just like unfortunate, because they could have done better. Another thing that I've seen someone mention on Twitter was Agatha and her motives. I, for one, also was thinking that her plan to just steal Wanda's powers was kind of weak. I thought that too. But then I was like, maybe it's just because I was focusing too hard on the Mephisto fan theories, and I was letting that cloud my judgment. But now I'm like, no, it genuinely was kind of weak in my opinion. She was just like, I want to steal your powers. That's it. What does she want to do with Wanda's powers? Does she want to create her own reality? Does she want to take over the multiverse? What does she want with Wanda's powers? Does she just want to have them and keep them and just to be able to say, I am the Scarlet Witch, or I have the Scarlet Witch's powers? Is that all she wants to do with it? What does Agatha really want with Wanda's? Why does she want them so bad, other than just being power hungry? You know, like, what was her end game? We don't know, because they just didn't really flesh out Agatha and what she wanted, what she really wanted with Wanda's powers. She just was some one-note villain who was like, I'm gonna steal your power and become the almighty witch. And that's it. And that's it. Do we know what she was gonna do with it? No. No. She could have just kept it and gone and been like Thanos, sitting on a porch at some farm, living happily, and we just wouldn't know, because they didn't really flesh out what she wanted to do with Wanda's powers. They just said that she wanted it. Okay, what is she gonna do with it? What is she gonna do? Why does she want it, other than being power hungry? Is there some more depth to it? We don't know. We don't know. The finale was good. It was good for Wanda and Vision, but for everyone else, it was an episode, and it finished, and now they're on to the next thing. That's all it was. I wish that they would have given a definitive, this is the start of the multiverse in the MCU, and I wish we could have done a little bit more with a little bit more with Monica, Jimmy, and Darcy, because they were hardly in it. Let's be honest, they were hardly in it. And I know they're not the stars, but we've been with them the entire series. So why did we get 2 seconds of Darcy? Why did we just get Monica stopping bullets? Why did we just get Jimmy calling the FBI and getting them over here and doing some, I don't know, recovery in the end? Like, there were things WandaVision could have done better. We will not lie. We will not lie. The finale was very good for Wanda and Vision, but their side plots that surround the show just didn't stick the landing as solidly. And it's unfortunate. Thanks for watching this very quick impromptu video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you enjoyed WandaVision. Let me know your thoughts about the finale, about the show, about things they could have done better. And yeah. I'll catch y'all later with hopefully I will finally finish editing this one video. Hopefully. And then I'll have that out. And then I'll have my Maze Runner. Guys, I do love Maze Runner. I do. I guilty pleasure. And I will talk about that. And then Falcon and the Winter Soldier's coming out soon. So I'll talk about that. So I'll see y'all. I've got things coming, okay? I'll see you later. Bye.
You are familiar with the thought experiment, the ship of Theseus, in the field of identity metaphysics?
Naturally. The ship of Theseus is an artifact in a museum. Over time, its planks of wood rot and are replaced with new planks. When no original plank remains, is it still the ship of Theseus?